It's been a record year for the stock market, but there is a time to buy and a time to sell. We are turning to pro trader Michelle Schneider, Chief Market Strategist at Market Gauge. Mish, when do you know the stock market is too rich and it's time to take some profits?
Well, that is such an excellent question, Angie, because if you are paying attention to streams like X, where you get a lot of top traders talking about this is the top, or even if you look at traders like Michael Burry, who's been short semiconductors into this massive run, you can realize that that's a dangerous game to just think that the market is high and therefore overvalued, therefore about to top. So these are the few things that we look at to make that assessment. Number one is we look very carefully at the high yield, high debt junk bonds. And you don't even have to do any of the research that those bond traders do. They do it for you, and it's reflected in the price. So for example, if they're not following the rally and they start to actually roll over and break, let's say, a key moving average, I got interest rates on my brain, key moving average, then that tells you that maybe these risk-on environment that these bond traders love, which is to buy these junky companies, is coming to an end. Maybe it's time to look for other signs. So that's sign one. Sign two would be, of course, to me, always to look at the small caps, because the small caps have really been underperforming for a long time. And most recently, if you look at them, they look like they're trying to play catch up, but if they can't take out recent highs and they roll over, then no matter where these high lofty stocks are trading, I would start to think perhaps we're in for a bigger correction. And then the third thing that I really like to look at is where we are in the January calendar range cycle. And this is something that you and I have talked about in prior episodes, which is basically the 6-month calendar range high and low. Did we take out the 6-month calendar range high and are now reversing below it? Or did we never take out the 6-month calendar range high and now breaking the 6-month calendar range low? So if you look at that, the junk bonds, the small caps, and the January range, I think then you have a much more educational decision to make on it's time to take profits, it's time to tighten up my stops, or it's time at least not to buy anything new.
Great information. Thank you, Mish.
Thank you so much, Angie.